Can we not get audio real good for everybody? All right, everybody, so we're scaring you away.
Nathan says, what's up, guys?
What's up?
Jonathan Whitaker says, good afternoon, everyone. Justin, a.k.a. Thunder Biscuit.
What?
Says hello.
Oh.
Howdy.
Well, hold on a second. Thunder Biscuit is, I don't think there's any racial or sexual connotation there, so.
We dig deep enough with something there.
I'm sure they could come up with something. Let's see what else you got here.
That's some of our regulars online watching the show.
Laz Regs. After I read a meme about a he and a she and a...
It's ma'am.
We're working on it. We're being a little bit quiet here while we get the audio figured out.
Could... Joe, could you hear any of us?
I could hear you more than I could hear them.
Okay, so I can keep saying hi to people.
Testing. Chris, can you hear me?
Yep, we got to fix.
Are we out there?
Yeah.
Cameron says, hello, Team VMP.
Hello.
Justin, a.k.a. Thunder Biscuit, says, God of Thunder was taken.
God of Thunder. Perfect. Thunder Biscuit.
Let's see. James says, hello, everyone. Mario wants to know, do you sell kits for 3-valve F-150s?
No. Go get a Pro Charger. It's your best bet. Or a what?
Or a Coyote.
Just to get the whole Coyote. Your life will be a lot better.
Control Pride, make it happen.
Steven says, my ears are bleeding. We know, Steven. We're working on it.
We got the audio fixed.
Poor Boy says, is that a man bun?
No.
I'm not sure.
Oh, wow.
Where the man buns
We're being
come
rough
from.
on you, Paul.
That's fine.
I do have a couple questions. If you want to, do you want to hit the questions now, or you want to wait?
Are they tuning related or are they website related?
They are tuning related.
We'll save those for the tuning part of the show. So today for this special season 2 episode 7, it's me and Paul for the first half of the show talking about the new VMP website. We have the architects of the new VMP website here, Paul and Ed in the background. And we just want to make sure everybody knows it's changed, it's different, it's scary, but it's not all that scary.
No, we've added some new functionality that should help with searching the website. Some modifications. We've added a garage where you can select your vehicle, and you should be able to shop by your vehicle, which should help.
We'll be launching the garage feature soon.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, right.
But you can shop by vehicle.
Shop by vehicle. Can we show them that? Oh, we're live on the website? Okay, cool.
On the website.
So you can go down here and do your year. So let's do like 2015, and well, we hope you're driving a Ford, but there's some other makes and listed there because we may very, very soon be supporting them.
And we do already offer a few options for those vehicles. We offer some of the tow hooks and some of the body packages through Zeal and add-ons.
Nice. And we go over here to our Mustang, and we even can go down here, to our, I'm using a MacBook and the mouse is just a little wonky. So go to our all trim level, and we hit find. So lots of products. This gives you everything. Another aspect of the new website is we didn't transfer your passwords over because that would be bad for us to even know what that data is. So anytime you log into the new website, you want to make sure that you do a forgot password and you do a reset password, send email, and then you'll be good. Let's see here. Carrie, are we getting any website-specific type questions?
No questions, just a couple comments. Poor Boy says, cool upgrade on the website. Other people are saying that the audio and stuff is working good now, but no actual questions.
Okay.
Clint says, site looks great.
Cool, thank you. Everybody spent a lot of time working on it, and the most important thing about the site is it's an all-new backend for us that's going to make the company faster and more efficient in the long run. Paul, you want to show them some stuff too? I feel like I'm monopolizing.
No, you're fine. Some of the nice features now with choosing your vehicle is you're not going to have to sift through some of the other makes that don't apply to your application. So once you've selected your vehicle, it's going to be specific to your vehicle. Different supercharger kits, different parts, exhaust, excuse me, they will apply specifically to your vehicle. And as Justin was saying, in the future we're going to have a save function where you can select those vehicles into your garage, and you can shop by, if you have 2 or 3 different Mustangs in your garage, you can choose which one you want to shop by, and parts will come up in that form.
Yeah, we created that. We're creating that feature for both our retail customers and then for our dealers that work on a lot of different platforms all the time.
You can see there's a new feel there.
Cool.
Does anybody have any questions about the site yet, Terry?
No questions. Someone, Ken says, it definitely looks like a lot of work went into the site. Really, that's it. There are no questions on the site itself.
Cool.
They're working on updating some of the information on the site as well to help make it more user-friendly and better search capabilities, so that way they can give you better information.
Correct.
Yeah, if you're having a problem using the new site or finding your account, we're here via phone, Facebook Messenger, email, ticket system, everything to get you supported, get your orders in, get you taken care of.
It's worth noting that we have also extended our support hours for now while we're doing the transition and getting the new site up and running and going. And so if you have additional support questions that you need help with, we're now open or have support from 9 a.m. till 6 p.m. Monday through Friday, and on Saturdays 9 to 1. Is that correct, Justin?
Right.
And if for any reason you guys do come into any errors or issues on the website, do feel free to reach out to our sales department. They're more than happy to help you guys. It is not a problem for us. There shouldn't be too many headaches. If for some reason you find one, like we said, please reach out. We're here to help you.
The biggest problem we found is that computers are a PETA sometimes, and a lot of times you'll have saved links or cached data in your computer from our old website, and that'll cause some things to not line up. So clear your cookies. There's actually some mad hacker ways to do ipconfig/flush DNS from the command line and some other stuff. You get some really weird issues, but it's pretty much, we're here to, we can pretty much do it. We can do everything and more than we did before. So if you're having an issue, just give us a call.
I have a couple of things going on here. Paul, apparently you must have a friend that's on the line, because Michael says, who's that hunk on the left? That beard is beautiful.
Oh,
He grows the luscious beard, Paul. And then he says, he comes back and is mentioning that you must skip carbs. You must skip the fries and eat just vegetable medley.
I think I know which mic that is.
Are you still on that diet?
Yes, I am.
Oh, nice.
Ish.
Mario does want to know, is there a dealer locator option on the site?
There is not at this point. We get that question a lot, and we have some internal resources for locating dealers for you. So yeah, just send in a ticket, let us know what area you're in.
For now, the easiest thing is our sales department can look up your city or your state, depending on how big in the outskirts you are, and we can try to find dealers that are located close to you. It's not hard for us to do, so please feel free to reach out to us about that.
Let's see here. I'm just looking through to see if there's anything else. Poor boy says, I hope it's much easier to look up winter beanies.
Do we have a lot of the new apparel and stuff on the site?
We have most of it. There's a few pieces that are not on there yet that will be getting added.
Cool.
Ken says, no questions means it's laid out and straightforward and simple. That's a good thing. Poor boy says, it's not a man bun, but a baby shark.
More accurate.
Nick says, do you plan on adding a Coyote swap category or adding Coyote engine option to every platform, like with the Coyote swap box running PBH brackets? Can't use the older feed bracket. So do we plan on adding a type of category for?
We have a category, and we can clean that category up and add more to it. That is something that we do have, and it will be revised to make it a little bit more friendly for everyone that has any vehicle on the planet that you're putting a Coyote inside of.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the Coyote swap section. We've got some of the tuning support, some of the power by the hour parts. You know, we can pretty much get you anything that you want, even if it's not on our website. So just give us a call, and we can put that all together in a package for you.
Ken says basically it definitely looks like a lot of work went into the site, so he says good job.
Thanks. Thanks to all these people here. I didn't really do much.
I'm looking here to see if there's anything else, and I'm not seeing anything else really website specific.
Okay. Well, if we want to hit a couple tuning questions, we can just kind of flow it all together.
Fat Boy Racing wants to know, did I win? LOL. Tomorrow we'll announce any type of winners. Let's see here, Gap Time says 17 GT manual Roush TBS with 80 millimeter pulley, 60 millimeter throttle body, fuel pump booster, and 47 pound injectors. It's upgrading to a 67 millimeter throttle body, PMAS intake, 79 millimeter pulley, and 56 pound injectors, and a BMP tune. What number should I see on Good 93 and also on 100 octane?
Oh, and did he say he had exhaust done to the car?
No, not at this time.
So it's a 15 to 17, which is a Gen 2 Coyote, a little bit stronger with boost as far as the horsepower numbers. The throttle body, the 79, the injectors, all going to make a big difference, and the BMP custom tune are going to make a huge difference over the Roush tune. I would say 650 wheel on 93, and then another 20 to 30 on 100 octane. And if you have good exhaust like long tubes, there's the potential to add another 30 to 40 on top of those numbers I just quoted. So high 600s on pump gas, up to high 600s on pump gas, and as high as potentially as like low 700s, 710 or so on the Boostain 100 octane type tune.
Slab Check says, hi guys and ladies, I'm on E85 for the first time, thanks for the tune.
Awesome.
Why does it seem that the tunes run better than stock?
So that's a great question. Paul, you've been around cars and stuff for a long time, so have you ever heard that before?
All the time.
There are a lot of little tweaks and optimizations. The factory does stupid stuff that they have to do. They put torque reductions, throttle rate limits in there, and get this, they want the car to feel smoother. So when a non-enthusiast is driving the vehicle, they don't think that it has too much power or it's clunky or overly aggressive or overly sensitive. I know that sounds really stupid, but from talking to some of the engineers and seeing some of the tables in there, it's literally what it is. So we get rid of all those restrictions and limitations on power, and I mean, it really doesn't make the car very rough around the edges anyways. So it just makes it better.
Jefferson says, hi, have you seen any of the ticking or engine problems in the 18 F-150 that's been seen in the Mustangs? I ask because I'm getting ready to put VMP's Gen 3 supercharger on his truck.
So we have not really. I've listened to some F-150s and I haven't heard it. I mean, the new motors definitely sound a little bit different because you've got 16 injectors, you've got the DI system, it's higher compression, it's a plastic oil pan instead of a metal oil pan. But yeah, I don't think it's anything to worry about unless it's really severe.
Are there any performance losses with a blower that has rotors with scuffs/chips off the ceramic coating?
Ooh.
I was gonna say that probably depends on how deep those scuffs and scratches are.
Yeah. So I do want to say that it's actually an abradable powder coat is pretty much what VMP, Roush, Eaton, everybody in the TVS world is using, and the twin screw world is using something similar. If like say like a piston went through your supercharger and you somehow cleaned out the blower, took off all the high spots, you could create some. Let me just sum this up. If the damage is severe enough to significantly increase the clearances throughout the entire blower, then there could be a performance loss. If you don't feel like clearances have opened up significantly, then I wouldn't worry about it. I mean, light scuffs or marks, a lot of times we see blowers that it just looks like a small piece of sand went through them or something, just minor scratches on the coating, nothing to worry about.
Coca-Cola says, just moved to Utah high elevation. Was at sea level before with a BMP tune. Do I need a new tune for 5,000 foot above sea level?
It's a great question, and no, you do not, because the computer takes into account air density through the mass air meter, and it still calculates everything properly.
Hi BMP, I have a GT with a BMP Gen 2R on a 79 millimeter pulley, stage 3, NA, comp cams, and E85. With a return fuel system, it made 722 to the wheel. Love the power, and wants to know, is that power level safe for a 14 GT?
I would say it's very safe. You're not really working the thing very hard. You got good fuel in it. I wouldn't worry about it.
Any tips on getting stronger engine braking during DFCO? Looks like the car's in torque source 6. Tip out decel on a 12 Mustang.
So the Boss track key calibration moves the, I believe it's the intake cam, and it's in the, I forget which distance along the track it is. If I saw it, I would remember it, but it's the smaller distance table is how they flip the cams to create engine braking. So you also keep in mind it's got to be at high RPM too. So it's, but yeah, if you want to play around with that, that's my suggestion.
James says...
Optimum stability table. Optimum stability, which is basically idle and decel. Sorry,
James
Carrie.
said... Are we ready?
Yeah, you're ready.
Okay.
You're ready.
James says, I have the BMP Gen 2R Stage 2 kit on my 12 GTCS, California Special. I want to upgrade to Stage 3, but I haven't been able to find the Stage 3 parts for the upgrade.
So that's a good question. There's kind of two pathways now, given that we have the Gen 3 blower. Stage 3, depending on when you bought your supercharger, your Stage 2 kit, last year we made the 67 throttle body standard on Stage 2, and then larger injectors. Those are the two big changes. And then of course the larger injectors support the ability to run a smaller pulley if needed, and run E85 if you have the rest of the fuel system. So that's option one. Option two is to step up to the Gen 3 head unit and trade in your old head unit for credit. And you could do bigger injectors and potentially a bigger throttle body as well. Let's talk about throttle body recommendations for a second. If you're on a stockish motor, you daily drive your car, run the Twin 67. It's super easy to tune, drives good. We tune them well, and I will tell you, any other tuner can tune a VMP Twin 67 well too.
Daniel says, if you guys tune my 15 Auto GT for E85, will shifts be uncomfortable?
No, that's one of my pet peeves is we don't make the shift schedules extremely firm everywhere, because it's annoying. So they won't be uncomfortable.
Question about the Ford Coyote 5.0. Does the truck engine handle boost better than the Mustang engine because of different cams and other build differences?
The 11 to 14 truck engine handles it like shit. It just makes crap for power, and it doesn't tolerate a lot of timing. The 15 to 17 truck engine does really well. It just doesn't make as much power as the Mustang engine.
Victor says, hi guys, hope all is well. And he says, Justin, you look like you need some coffee.
I had some, I guess it wasn't big enough.
Tom is excited. He just got his first Mustang a few months ago.
Awesome.
Congratulations.
And he said, he came back in a second message and says, watch the podcast about boosting. There's only a few pumps in my area that I can get 91. I was wondering, should I throw a quarter of a bottle in my tank every time I fill up just to be safe?
So, great question. I would say it's not necessarily about safety. On a naturally aspirated car, it's not just about safety, but about performance. And that a quarter of a bottle would bring you up to like 93 to 95. And that would be beneficial, especially if you're running a custom tune, which wants to run more timing as well to make more performance.
Oh, okay. So Rick Fletching says, I have seen a lot of videos on superchargers. He used to be a turbo guy, but I can tell that your superchargers look like the way to go.
Thank you.
Ryan wants to know, do you guys have a tune to complete readiness monitors, CAT, O2, HO2, and EVAP, with long tubes and off-road X-pipe?
So that would be against federal law to defeat an emissions control system, so we do not have a tune for that. You might find some people that do that, but with all the information, I just wouldn't go there. I mean, if you want to register your car and your state requires you have CATs, that's kind of what it is.
Give me 1 second. Next question says, Peyton wants to know, what do you think is better, stronger transmission for Coyote swap? A T56 Magnum versus a TR6060?
Well, I know you're into Chevy muscle cars, and we use a lot of the same parts between the two of them.
I would personally go TR6060.
I'm going to second that because the Magnum is great that you can buy a brand new kind of somewhat race-oriented transmission, but TR6060 tends to be more of like an OEM fitment, and I think there's some good things that come out of that.
Rick Fletching wants to know, what makes the VMP supercharger unique?
Great question. So we designed it to be to perform well, to be cost effective, to be easy to install, and to be reliable. And a big part of that, a lot of that comes from using the Eaton TVS rotors, which are tried and true, and then having our housing designed around those rotors that fits the GT500 and Coyote applications. Basically, we want to be able to get you a product that performs well, meets your expectations all the time.
Kevin says, I would like you guys to dyno tune my car, Carlisle. It's a 15 Mustang with a VMP Gen 3. How do I go about setting this up?
Great question, Kevin, because we just made a video about this earlier today. The event schedule is being published and being made official here shortly, and Carlisle is one of the big events where we'll be doing a lot of dyno tuning. The simple answer is call us. Our staff can go over your setup, get a deposit, get you booked. First thing we want to make sure you've got all the right parts on the car, so when we dyno tune it, it doesn't run out of fuel or there's not some other issue. And if you don't have all the right parts on the car and you don't have time to install them, we can do things like injector upgrades, fuel pump boosters, throttle body swaps, fresh plugs at the event, and then dyno tune it once that's done. But that's the long version of how it goes down.
Mario wants to know if car owners can get full engines and blowers installed here at VMP.
Oh, thought you were gonna tell me at Carlisle.
No, here.
We can help you out with more extensive builds. We do install our VMP supercharger kits, and we do some other things in addition to that. So just reach out to us, let us know kind of what your build goals are, what your budget is, how much power you want the car to make at the end of the day, and we can come up with a formula for that.
And if you decide to go with us, we do have the vacation package that someone can take advantage of.
Yes, blower install, couple night hotel stay, come in with a little bit of horsepower, leave with a lot of horsepower.
Steven says, any good installers for a VMP blower in the New Hampshire area that we've worked with before? Do you have any recommendations in New Hampshire?
You recall anybody up in New Hampshire?
There are, I can't recall off the top of my head.
I know who. Pete at Performance Dyno is a good guy, fellow tuner, and has a dyno, has a shop, can get you taken care of. So I'd reach out to him, let him know that we referred you to him.
Ryan just asked this, so it's a little out of order, sorry guys, but it's kind of timely to some degree. Any new videos on the GT500, Justin? I'm really looking forward to just how hard I can push mine.
Oh man, we shot that video, or we're gonna shoot that video yesterday. All the dyno testing's done, but we ran out of time. So we're gonna shoot a video reviewing all the dyno results and talking about it and everything. So that's forthcoming. Give you a little preview. My GT500's still together. Andrew from Mustang Lifestyle drove it over the weekend and beat the piss out of it. So it's making good power and it's alive.
So we do have more GT500 videos coming.
Yes.
They are
Yes.
forthcoming. So just stay tuned. Stay tuned to the YouTube channel and hit the little bell icon, and that way you will get notifications whenever we publish videos. Nathan says, buying a DSS aluminum drive shaft, anything else needing upgraded at the same time?
That's a good start. You know, you could do a drive shaft safety loop while you're in there just to keep the track officials happy. If it's an IRS car, you're going to want to upgrade the axles, the half shafts at some point. On an older car, I wouldn't mess with the axles. When I say an older car, a straight axle car, I would not mess with the axles till you build the whole rear end. So that's pretty much the deal.
Saul wants to know, can I swap a 16 F-150 into a Fox body, even though it has different firing order?
So Saul, I get where you're going with that question. You're going to swap a computer system to control that 16 F-150 engine as well, and there's a couple options for that. Ford Racing has a control pack. I believe we sell those and we can custom tune them. And then if you go to a junkyard like the Parts Farm that specializes in engine swaps, they're going to supply you with an engine and the computer system out of the car with the theft system disabled. So when you put all that into your swap vehicle, it wants to start up and run.
Derek says, what's up from Mobile, Alabama? What's up,
Hey.
Derek? Question for Paul. Paul, I'm assuming this is one of your buddies again. It's a gentleman named Eli. Anyway, Eli wants to know, what does Paul drive? Is Paul fast? I suppose Paul being fast depends on who you ask.
I drive a Camaro. It's down. It'll be down for a while. It's getting a turbo build. It was a nitrous car with 2 stages. It's been single digits. Wasn't the fastest thing in the world, but it was a fun car to play around with. Mostly did 8th mile racing, but actually built it for quarter mile. So, I mean, depending on who you ask, about 10 years ago it was fast.
Do we have any more website questions before
No.
we swap co-hosts?
That's
Okay, cool.
So, yeah, so Joe, are you going to go in?
Are we going 3-way or are we going 2-way?
You're
I'll
going
give you the
two-way.
mic.
You're swapping.
Well, thanks for coming by.
Absolutely.
So Mad Max is asking any reason why we're not publishing the oil pump gears video, and actually Mad Max, we are in the process of finalizing that and getting them up on the website so that way, as the video hits, it will be available on the new website as well. With the launch of the new website, we had to do some other things before we actually got them up there, but it is coming, and really it's slated to launch either this week, hopefully,
Yeah.
or very early next week.
Yeah, I think it'll be the only comprehensive installation video with some fun added in.
And with that said, Mad Max, I know you're a regular that tunes in, but make sure you click the little bell icon, and that way you will get notification as soon as it drops.
Ta-da.
Hi, Joe.
I'm back.
Hi, Joe.
What's up with this thing?
So,
You gonna keep it on for the...
well,
the rest, or-
we were doing some website questions and we were feeding it in there, but I think for now we're not getting a whole lot of website questions. So,
How are they?
I think should we talk about our giveaway?
Yeah.
So the dude in blue was here, and in his honor and our honor, we're giving away a license plate signed by that dude in blue, David Patterson, and a free VMP T-shirt. And we'll send you whatever size you need. This is a medium. It's kind of small.
Can we show the back of it, just because it's a new T-shirt?
Oh yeah. Should
And-
showing you the front. There's nothing on it except for the logo.
And it actually shows an F-150 racing along with a GT500.
Here, I got you.
We have not
Ta-da.
had a giveaway with this T-shirt yet, so this will be the
We'll
first
set the laptop
T-shirt that we've actually supplied in a giveaway of this new design.
So, to win this T-shirt, you have to go on our YouTube channel and look at our Dude in Blue meet and greet video and comment on which car you liked from the meet. And there were a lot of different cars at the meet. So just put in the comments which one you liked, and we will enter you into a drawing to win this stuff right here.
Sweet.
Dude in Blue meet and greet video on the VMP Performance YouTube channel.
Fat Boy keeps asking, Fat Boy, I know you keep asking and you're in the queue. I try to get all the questions in the order.
Just spit it out, Carrie.
Yeah, just get it out.
I know. It's just he's asked like 4 or 5 times now. So he wants to know, do you have any aftermarket heads for a 2-valve?
No,
TrickFlow makes some though,
we don't have any.
but yeah, they're quite pricey. I think you had the solution to everything earlier, right, Joe?
Boost.
Coyote swap,
Yep.
and then boost.
Baker wants to know what happened to Chucky. Watch our last video. You'll see where Chucky stands, and we will have a new video coming out next week. That will be a continuation. So,
Oh my God, Cletus just showed up, and he said he needed to do a burnout right now, and he tore the bumper off. I'm just kidding.
you're welcome, Fat Boy.
Chucky's just fine though. But Chucky's gonna keep going.
Yeah, he will live for another day. Victor says, I have a 14 GTNA with bolt-ons. What stall converter do you recommend for street and strip car?
Well,
Depends on gears. If you're like a 315 car, go like 3200 for a stall. If you have like 410s in it, you probably don't need much stall at all. With the mechanical advantage in first gear of a 6R80. Yeah, I'd say somewhere around that $3,000 range would probably be good for a naturally aspirated car.
that's a nice conservative estimate.
That and if we're doing street strip, if you're just strip, I'm just gonna be drag racing, go like 5C with it, go nuts.
Mash the gas.
Yep, may as well be doing clutch drops.
With Chucky, we did not follow our own advice. We just told the converter people to make it whatever they thought it should be, and I hope it's loose.
Do we sell tunes?
We do.
You know, I was wondering if we should start doing that.
I feel like there's some decent money to be made doing tuning.
You know, and somebody told me one time I might be kind of good at it. And I think you might be kind of good at it too.
I like to think so. At least on Tuesdays.
On Tuesdays when you have your tuner hat on.
Exactly.
Yeah, yes.
So we have a few new people actually on the channel, and that was one of them.
Okay.
So wants to know, do we sell tunes?
We
Yeah,
sure do, buddy.
We
sure
absolutely do. And Joe makes tunes,
Mhm.
along with the rest of the tuning department.
do. Mhm.
So
Now-
yeah, here at BMP, we have a whole tuning department with dedicated staff for tuning only. Yes, we do sell and make custom tunes as well, depending on what your needs are and what your goals are.
Now, isn't there some talk in the industry of baked tunes?
I wasn't
made
gonna say
tunes?
anything. I find that talk so funny.
We'll try to keep it somewhat serious here.
Yeah, exactly.
The person is a little bit new to this whole industry, but
Yeah.
within the tuning industry, there are tuners and there are tuners with 2 O's.
And then there's jokes about recipes for tunes and all that stuff. It's a good time. It's
Yeah.
like a whole little subculture of tuning.
Yeah.
Can I hit an 8-second quarter mile with the BMP Gen 3? If so, what other mods would I need on a 13 Mustang 5.0?
You can. We would recommend a built engine just to ensure that all the pieces don't come out on the way to that 8-second pass.
That is not preferable.
Yeah. We really never want to see somebody blow something up, especially on a track, because oil under the rear tires and coolant.
Leads to possibly a very bad time. Or the last time. It could go either way.
Yeah.
Or like one of those hero making moments where they don't really know what the hell they're doing in the moment that they do it, but they somehow don't hit a wall. And everyone's like, oh, you're the best driver on the planet.
Yeah. But seriously, like our VMP Gen 3 kit and a built motor, a fuel system, you probably want to build the 6R80 transmission while you're in there just for longevity's sake.
Mhm.
Some good tires and some good track prep, and it can be done.
Citing example, Rebecca's car, Scott Hasty. Wasn't Scott Millot at one point?
Yeah,
stuff
he
going
never
eights?
went real fast, but yeah. I don't think he's ever been 8s yet.
Oh, okay.
And John Hartman, the Triangle Speed Shop guys with the El Toro car.
Mhm.
There's a lot.
Is Siborowski in the 8s?
Yeah, Sabrowski. Soon to be some other combinations.
Mhm.
UPR is building 2 VMP Gen 3 powered cars.
I think there's a guy named David that was in the...
David Bowen.
Yep.
Yeah.
Justin Young says, late to the party. Hi, everyone.
Hey,
Hi, Justin.
Justin.
Came
And
just in
Kellen
time.
Stone just joined us as well.
Callan's car is fast with the Gen 2, or Gen 2R, actually Gen 2, I think.
Mm.
Nick wants to know, a supercharged 4.6 making 500 to the wheel with 16 degrees of timing on 93.
Mm-hmm.
What timing increase and power increase would be reasonable with using boosting for 98 octane?
And he said this was a 500 wheel or 600 wheel?
500.
500 wheel 4.6.
He said on E85?
I think
Or
just
on
gas,
93?
93.
How much,
On 93.
how much boost did he say? Because something wasn't adding up there unless it was a 2-valve.
It says supercharged 4.6 making 500 to the wheel with 16 degrees of timing on 93.
Okay.
So stock motor gets kind of dicey above 500.
Mhm.
So I'd say conservatively probably 2 to 3 degrees.
Yeah.
I mean, that'll go a long way on a blower car going from 16 to 19 though.
Yeah.
Zach wants to know, when will you offer flex fuel tune for an 18 GT?
I'd say probably check back in 3 weeks. We'll probably have something.
Damn, that's fast, Joe.
Yeah. Trying to make some progress on that R&D.
Nice.
Emphasis on the D.
Nice.
I need to tune the exploder.
Mhm.
How much oil does a 2.3 liter VMP TDS hold, and what kind of boost will an 82 and 72 millimeter pulley make?
Is it 6.5 ounces?
It's just under 6 ounces or about 140 milliliters.
Mm-mm. And then how much boost will it make on what?
82 and a 72.
If we're talking 5 liters, 82's 10 to 11 pounds depending on your elevation. A 72, I'd say is closer to 13 to 14 pounds depending on elevation and inlet restriction.
Obsidian's tuning in, sitting there saying hi to everybody. So hello.
Hola.
Hi.
Jed says, what supporting mods do I need to reach 700 to the wheel without having stuff break on an 18 GT?
93 Mustang blower. Whether or not stuff breaks depends on track conditions, and whether or not you get wheel hop, what type of tire you're on. I know quite a few guys that run 700 wheel in the...
It's a 10-speed auto, he says.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, just a good tire, 93 in Mustang or E85, and yeah, that's basically all you need. I mean, you could make the argument that axles are needed, but are they really? We've seen guys run them significantly harder than that.
Yeah.
I've seen stock axles break on stock cars, so
Yeah.
needs kind of a relative term.
Yeah.
Luke says he's got an 06 3-valve with a 2.3 liter Roush TBS. He just ordered our heat exchanger and can't wait to put it on. Also ordered Cook's 1 3/4 long tubes with 3-inch collectors and a full 3-inch exhaust.
Nice.
On the intake side, I have a twin 67, 2.8 pulley, but the stock Roush cold air that came with the kit. What are my options for bigger cold air intake? Will the GT500 ones work?
There's a different
Heat shield.
heat shield, and I think the vacuum connections on the 3-valve are different from the GT500 because they have the one that comes over from the passenger side that's a smaller diameter hose that goes into the cold air.
The JLT GT500 ones tends to not fit great because the PCV line comes right out of the valve cover on a 3-valve. The PMAS you could probably get to fit a little bit better because it's 2 pieces and you could probably angle it kind of around that a little bit, I'm thinking.
Ken says I have a 13 GT500 with stainless works long tubes, high flow caps, and he has a N2MB watt box that he uses for lift shifting, which is great, but he wants to use his 2-step this season, so he has a few questions. One, is there a chance I may melt my cats, and should I get rid of them? Of course, this is for an off-road application. And then 2, I will replace some timing components needed to use the 2-step safely. On my list, primary, secondary chains and sprockets, guides, 8mm pivot pins, tensioners, OPG, and crank sprocket. Am I missing anything on my list?
Secondary chains. Do the ones made by AccuFab.
And the cats, a 2-step will melt cats for sure.
Corey says, should I be scared of a 75mm pulley on a Gen 1 Mustang motor with a Gen 2 blower with E85 and long tubes? I have a 79 on the car looking to make 700 to the wheel with the 79.
I wouldn't say that you should necessarily be scared. I'd say that you should probably start saving money if you plan on doing that to build a motor.
Yeah, just be a little cautious and just keep it in the back of your mind.
Yeah. Rods and pistons are a good idea, and the 11-12 motors, especially when you're pushing them that hard. Not to say that that's necessarily hard, it's just 11-12 motors don't seem as robust as late 14, 15 to 17 motors.
Yeah.
Max wants to know, can we send him a diagram showing what's needed to be modified to fit our cooling fan? 3-way dual fan, have a Roush installed on my 16 GT, so had to modify the stock connectors.
What?
The
only thing that really needs to be modified is a hole needs to be drilled for the heat exchanger outlet to go to the Roush intercooler pump on the passenger side of the car, and then you basically just take the Roush harness for the for the intercooler pump out of the equation and put ours in. There's not really any modification beyond that.
Snow Cones says, my shop is getting my 800 horsepower 2R kit in this week. I'm extremely excited. Car has full Ford racing suspension and full exhaust, long tubes with H-pipe for sound. I'm hoping for 720 plus on 92 on a GT 500.
Sweet.
Congratulations, let us know how it goes. Brandon says, on an 18 F-150, and Mustangs are so similar, what is holding back the F-150 from making similar crank numbers? Supercharged 18 F-150 tune turnaround time, question mark?
There really is no 18 F-150 supercharged turnaround time right now. We're working on the R&D on that in the coming weeks. I don't think there's anything that's stopping an 18 F-150 from making the same power as a Mustang at the crank.
Yeah, for the new engines, it's 12-to-1 compression ratio. It's more similar to a Mustang engine than ever. I mean, we had one on the dyno doing some intake testing on 87 octane, and it made 415 to the wheels.
Yeah, I believe so.
On 18 degrees of timing, 415 to the wheels, naturally aspirated. On stock exhaust.
It's super quiet.
Yeah, with some exhaust or intake manifold changes. That'll be for an upcoming video and products and all that good stuff.
Mustang GT V8 wants to know your advice on the best VMP Gen 3 kit setup for his 16 Mustang GT 5-liter.
I'd say the VMP Gen 3 kit would be the best setup.
It's gonna have everything you need.
All the stuff you need. I think those are the guys that sent us the plate, not the plate. The sign.
Okay, cool.
I think she said Autobahn V8 or something like that.
Chuck says, love the new VMP website. It's super easy to use when browsing for parts. Think you'll ever add a live chat option, which we've discussed.
Yeah, we're looking at that. Once we get the website out, we'll add more features like that and everything.
Maybe we'll add a premium chat option.
Premium chat. Joe, you're so dirty. Chat with your tuner live tonight at 8 p.m.
Does that mean one's
Talk
going
about
to
adding
be
boost.
red versus one be like green?
Maybe.
The red light chat, the green light chat.
I don't know, I'd almost prefer that it be inverse of what the traditional would make you think.
Oh,
because
yeah.
Green light, you get to go all the way. Red light, you have to stop.
Roxanne. Snow cones. Does VMP ever visit the Pacific Northwest?
I think the furthest we got was Sturgis. And I think that's the furthest we're ever going to go.
Yeah, yeah.
If you want, come see us when we're at SEMA or something next time we go.
Yeah.
That's about as far west as you'll get us.
Go visit Joe at Shelby Fest in 2 months.
Yeah.
Shelby Fest is upon us.
We'll meet you halfway.
Alex wants to know, can you run a 67mm VMP throttle body with our 730 horsepower Roush upgrade kit? And will the tune it comes with work in the kit? He has a 17 Roush factory supercharged card. It's an auto with 355 gears from factory.
Sweet. Yeah, it'll work.
All right, let's see here. Cars and Couches says, hi VMP squad.
Hey.
I purchased and installed an 18 manifold for my 16 GT with an E85 tune. I made significantly less torque on the dyno, about 20 to the wheel less. I didn't see that loss in the Manny shootout. Pre-runs on the dyno jet, posts on a Mustang dyno. I understand different dyno, different conditions might come into play. Is this change based on the dyno and day performed or manifold/tune?
I thought we made that pretty clear in the Manny shootout that there was a torque loss. So the 11 to 14 truck manifold that we tested and the 15 to 17 Mustang GT manifold that we tested basically produced the same curve. So we kind of rolled them into one. We didn't even really show or talk about them individually because the results were the same. And that's the one trade-off of the 18 intake manifold, the Cobra Jet, basically all of them, GT350, Boss.
If it's not a stock manifold, it's going to make a little bit less torque.
It's going to make 20 foot-pounds less. I will tell you we're going to play around with ported 18 F-150 intake manifolds, which have similar runner volume but a little bit longer runner length to see if there's any happy medium once again. on the trucks, the results are good so far. We're going to apply those to the Mustangs as well. But yeah, basically now run your engine up to 775, use all that area under the curve, and just that's pretty much what it is.
Topper says, could you create a fitment diagram for Mustangs? I've been trying to find widest or best offset or size with the 13 GT500 for most tires and clearing brakes as well as the fenders.
I think if we were in the business of selling tires and wheels in higher volumes than we currently do, that there would be a business case for that, but I don't know if there's really a business case for it as it sits.
Yeah, I mean, I feel the GT500, it's like the Mustang GT. I'm sure there's a lot of information out there. I mean, I'll tell you, if you're in the 18 and 19 inch range, that pretty much anything that fits a Mustang GT is going to fit your car. You know what, you got to be careful because some 18s won't clear 15 inch brakes. Most 18s, unless they're made by like Apex, will not clear the 15 inch brakes on a 13, 14. But 19s and 20s, you're fine basically to respect regular Mustang GT fitments.
And I think those RTR wheels that American Muscle or CJ Pony Parts have will clear 13, 14 GT500 brakes.
And an 18. Okay.
Yeah, because that's what Grant used to run in
Oh,
his
okay.
car. It was like a 305 45 18.
Yeah. Just
that
if
RTR wheel.
If the 18 says it fits 15 inch brakes, they probably designed it specifically for the barrel to be a little bit bigger. But if it doesn't say, there's a chance that it doesn't fit.
Ken says premium live chat, $3.99 a minute could be another revenue stream, Justin. Wink, wink.
Oh man.
Derek has asked actually twice now, so he wants to know, could you tell me how to install a root style blower such as ours on a 351W?
No, I can't. Saw the
There's
Coyote.
There's a bunch, I shouldn't say a bunch, there's a couple of videos running around of Fox bodies with Cobra blowers and GT500 blowers, and I cite those as examples of 1 and 2 of how to get them on there.
Yeah. I mean, you could technically make an adapter plate. You could either machine it from billet or weld it together, but then you really need to fit an intercooler in there for anything more than like 8 pounds of boost.
And then he came back and said, do I just need to go with a mod motor?
Yeah, please. A Coyote or
Mike
GT500.
Sitar, didn't he run a front feed blower setup on a push rod motor on, I think it was on his son's car or something? They just
He
put
might be
together?
making something. Yeah.
I don't know if that's like a production thing. I think he said something about having machine work done to get it done, but maybe that's an avenue to go down.
Mike Sitar will be here next week.
Awesome. Are we doing like a Tuning Tuesday thing with him, or like a Burnout Box thing, or
We
just
should ask him.
just chilling?
Tuesday or Thursday, yeah, we should get him on the show. So, we should ask him to bring a big new Copo supercharger and just sit it on the table.
Have a nice little talking
Yeah,
piece.
yeah. So like the day that I'm going to California, he's gonna be coming to Florida, so we're gonna try to hook up at some point.
Hot damn.
Me and Rebecca are going to California
Tomorrow.
tomorrow to do some business out there, get some emissions testing wrapped up for VMP supercharger kits, and yeah.
Race cars everywhere.
Are you ready?
Yep.
Yep.
I didn't want to interrupt.
You're fine.
Gragos says the EcoBoost is speed density, so is the 18 Plus Roush. Will the PP Boost gauge for the EcoBoost be accurate in the 18 Plus Roush? Some say no. They say the gauge reading will be inferred.
It shouldn't be inferred on a car that actually has a measurement of manifold absolute pressure.
Peyton says, is there a program to view data logs on a MacBook such as LiveLink?
Well, technically any spreadsheet can view them, but
Making it display in a way that's
Yeah.
user friendly. I don't know if Megalog Viewer's Mac iOS compatible.
yeah, there's a program out there called Megalog Viewer. But yeah, like Joe said, I don't know if anybody's got a Mac version.
Mhm. Hasn't really been a problem for us because we don't. I mean, aside from this, don't use Mac.
Yeah.
Chuck says, any thoughts on the SEMA build having a Gen 3 with a blow-through carb setup? Old school meets new school.
Ford doesn't let people do shit like that. Unfortunately, it's got to fit into a certain mold, and you can be as wild as you want within that certain mold.
Derek, who was asking about putting a VMP blower on a 351, came back and said it's an 89 GT.
Sweet.
Mm.
Coyotes fit great in those.
Right for a coyote swap.
Whistle says, I have an 18 Mustang and bought a LPF twin turbo kit. Has VMP ever tuned one of these setups? Would I need IMRC lockouts for this setup?
We've tuned LPF turbo cars, not the 18 setup. Would you need IMRC lockouts? No, the IMRCs fold flat, but get in touch with whatever tuner you're thinking about going with and have the conversation with them about that, because just because I know that you don't need them doesn't mean that a tuner would prefer that you lock them out, because there's some weird transient states where maybe the IMRCs don't open quick enough and it breaks the IMRCs trying to force air through them.
There could be something going on.
Yeah.
That is something that if you're local, we would be interested in tuning. If you came down to Florida, or if you think you've got some really good data logging skills, we might consider remote tuning.
Yeah, if it's auto, I'd say it needs to be here if I'm going to tune it.
We are at 2:30. I know we're going to go till 3 o'clock today, but if you're enjoying the show, I just wanted to remind out there, please like, share, and subscribe. Show us some love so that way we can keep offering these shows. If you don't show us some love, we can't guarantee that we're spending the time to keep doing that.
Yeah, go enter the contest to enter to win this stuff by commenting on the Dude in Blue meet and greet video. And you can possibly win a new VMP blue t-shirt and an autographed Dude in Blue license plate.
There's
Okay.
air bubbles in this, it really does.
I know, I'm just looking at it too, I'm like,
Okay, guys and gals, I saw like 3 thumbs up. Is that all you can do for us? Come on.
thumbs up.
I know, right? Only 3 likes?
Subscribe.
The other thing is, yeah, if you're over on YouTube, make sure you hit the bell notification on the channel so that way when our videos drop, you get notification of them. We do a lot of install videos, we do a lot of tech tips, we do a lot of things to try to help you guys out, which many of the other channels do not offer. So I highly recommend going ahead and liking the bell so that way you get the notifications when things drop.
Can we somehow get like a notification token sound when someone likes?
Ding!
When likes or anything on the post? Dark places of the internet.
We were thinking, what were we thinking about getting a buzzard for too? Red light, green light at one point. Superstock 50 says, when and how often are you supposed to change the oil in a supercharger, specifically the VMP 2.3 liter?
Great question. Almost never. 100,000 miles. It's serviceable, but there's not really ever a good reason to change it.
Taylor wants to know ghost cams tunes, yes or no?
Don't currently offer them, thinking about doing them at one point. Check back.
How hard do you want to park? That is the question.
If you want to leave it in park with the e-brake up, I got you, fam.
Obsidian says, I won the Cletus plate from the drawing a few weeks ago. It didn't cost me anything but a couple of clicks.
Ooh,
Awesome,
sweet.
awesome.
Congratulations. Thank you
See,
for participating.
The winners are real.
The winners
We're
are
out
real.
there.
Right.
It's not fake stuff, guys. This is real stuff.
Yeah.
Joe is real, I promise.
I wish we could do like home shopping network type stuff.
What's
Like,
that?
have you ever seen HSN, the home shopping
Yeah,
network?
yeah.
So like they have all these like blooper videos going around of like all the stuff they try live in person.
Oh.
And then like how it goes wrong. Like one guy slammed a Chinese sword against the table. The tip broke off and went into his stomach.
Oh God.
What?
Yeah.
Wow. HSN bloopers.
Yeah.
Search that on YouTube.
Car part edition.
Carpart.
Topper says, I want a shirt as well for guessing dyno numbers. Help them out, people. Not only help us out, help you out. It's a lot of good content, I think. And we keep producing more, and in the long run, those of you with our products or looking to go into modifying your car, it'll help you out. John says, with me living in Alaska, I am far away from the VMP ranch.
really
How far
far.
northwest does BMP's reach for recommendations into shops or installers for your products?
I think if you live in Alaska, you just might as well do it yourself. Watch some of our videos. I don't.
And I don't know of any installers in Alaska. I know of some in Canada, but not Alaska.
Yeah. I mean, anybody that can work on cars can install performance parts if they take their time.
Yeah, we
Please
make,
take your time. Don't fuck our shit up.
We make very thorough instructions, especially in regards to blower kit installation stuff. We
Yeah.
have a couple videos on our YouTube. If you watch that and you feel like you can't do that, you probably can't change an air filter. If you can't watch the video and do the blower kit.
We try.
Don't be
scared.
Don't be scared of the minor grinding on the front cover, because at the end of the day, we're loading the crankshaft correctly close to the front main bearing, and that's why we do that. Well, I think
Thanks,
that almost
Coca-Cola, for giving us thumbs up.
wraps it up, Carrie.
I think we're supposed to be
We're
doing an
going till
extended
3
edition
today.
today.
Oh, we're going till 3. Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
today's extended because we
Okay.
have the website questions, so we're going till 3.
Oh,
Zach is actually, he's like showing you guys some love, and he says, when is the next open house? And actually, Zach, we will be having another event. We're doing the Florida Ride Out on April 20th. We will be the last stop on the event, and we're welcoming everybody to come. So if you want to come, I think they're going to also have the dyno going on that day as well. So
Yeah.
I know that there's information. I see you're here on Facebook. In our events section on Facebook, go there. I know there's more information that you can garner from there. Lizardman72 says, what's a good recipe for 450 to the wheel on a 15 GT PP on E85?
they say what year PPGT on E85? If he didn't say year, 450 wheel.
15
Okay.
GT.
If it's a 15 GT, GT350 intake manifold, LU 47 pound injectors, a JLT or a PMOS cold air intake, long tubes, and decent flowing exhaust, should be able to get you a 450 wheel.
Yvonne wants to know how long you're going to be in LA.
About until Monday. So about 4 days. We'll be in down at Diamond Bar at SEMA Garage and around the area.
Project 1X says, Joe did a tune for me last time. My question is it possible to request a particular tuner when needing updates to a previous tune?
It is under the order notes. If you're ordering a tune, just mention that you want this specific person to tune your car.
Yeah, and I mean,
As long as we have the means by which to accommodate that, we will.
yeah, I mean they all work together in the tuning office. My office is actually right next door.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, we're all here to get it done for you. Make sure you're happy with it and do a good job. And so you make lots of horsepower.
All of horsepower.
Carrie Styles wants to know, do y'all do Diablo Predator tuners U7146? And will a Dorman intake raw horsepower bought from Advanced Auto? He's got a 2000 GT 4.6 liter intake cracked and bought one from AutoZone.
Oh, he's talking about an intake manifold, not a cold air intake. I didn't know they made replacements.
Dorman makes replacements. There's a lot of companies that make them, a lot of Chinese companies too.
Nice.
I'd say that you shouldn't really expect much, if any, horsepower loss by going with the Dorman manifold. I know there's some internet lore about that, but I don't believe you're really going to see a horsepower loss.
I don't think the 2-valve cylinder heads are good enough to care what intake is on them.
Mm-mm.
Wasn't there somebody making adapter plates to use the 3-valve intake manifold on the 2-valve?
Probably at some point or another. I'd just put an Edelbrock intake on it.
Oh, they make one for the 2-valve?
Yeah,
Oh,
I made
nice.
one for probably 8 years for
Oh,
the
wow.
2-valve. I like it a lot. Just requires an adapter plate to go from the, I think it's 4140 flange, the old carbureted flange, to the stock GT plenum bolt pattern.
Oh,
One of those
nice.
guys that make fabricated plenums for like Cobra and Bullet throttle bodies or Mach 1 throttle bodies and stuff. You just need their rails and you need to get a fuel injected version. Go ahead.
And Carrie wants to know, can you do a custom tune for the Diablo Predator tuner?
No. Pick up SCT,
Yvonne,
we got you.
Yvonne came back and said if you reach out, he neighbors Diamond Bar if you guys want to do dinner.
Sounds fancy.
I'll hit you up if I'm available.
Juanito says, hey guys, what is the best spark plugs you recommend for an NA15 Coyote? I got a tune from you, and it only has cold air.
Stock plugs, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, and if you've got to put something in there, a TR7 IX, like a 6510 is one step colder, nice fine wire iridium plug, or a brisk RR14YS.
Sam says, hey guys, 17 Roush is on their way to drain fuel tank without having to buy jumper you all sell. What? Is there any way to drain fuel tank without having to buy a jumper that we sell? I just need to get it drained so I can put race fuel in to get Joe his data logs. I was told it could be done in the tune to drain tank, something about key in on position and pump will run and just unhook line at rail.
Yeah, we can do that.
Bri2KTV says Roush 2.3 with VMP 8-rib pulley kit, 67mm throttle body, headers on E85. Drove for 5 minutes and never went over 3,500 RPM. Motor died, slowing down to a stop sign. Got codes for all 4 cam sensors. Help! He has 14,000 miles on the car.
If it's all 4 cam sensors, it's probably a timing gear.
Oh shit.
Yeah, but I don't. That's where you get into the magic 8 ball or the crystal ball stuff of diagnosing cars from miles and miles away, where I can throw a bunch of different things that could be wrong at the wall, and one of them might stick, but at the end of the day, you just got to do some basic diag work. I'm sorry, buddy.
Carrie says, does a Dorman intake raw horsepower bot? Did you guys basically answered that already?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Will the VMP fit on an 02 F-150 Harley Davidson?
It will if you use an adapter plate from TPS Motorsports, or there's another guy that makes it.
Yeah.
But TPS Motorsports has like a whole little kit on their website. I think that's Mike Mack. But it's
Yeah,
TPS.
and you'd use our GT500 head unit, either the Gen 2R or the Gen 3.
Mhm.
What mods do you recommend to pair with your Gen 2 Stage 2 kit for 14 GT?
Exhaust, if you can swing it. Oil pump gears, crank sprocket wouldn't be a bad idea while you have it apart, but you won't have it apart to the extent of it's like may as well do the oil pump gear crank sprocket because it's going to take me 10 minutes longer. It's still a considerable amount more time, but if you're already setting aside time to where you're not going to be driving your car, doing oil pump gear crank sprocket setup wouldn't be a bad idea.
Will Deutschwerk 78-pound injectors be enough for an E85 change in an 18 Roush?
You shouldn't need injectors on or wait, he's talking 18 Roush, so already supercharged.
Already supercharged.
Um,
I would not do 75, that's a weird number. I would go with 1,000 cc, like a 95, 98 pound injector.
I'd really
And
like
then-
to see a set of IDs in an 18.
Yeah, that too, yeah. Like an ID 1050. And then, are they for low boost? Can you do a pump or a booster to support E85 on
You
those?
can do, like, if you look at the Whipple kits, they do a DW400 pump and you run it with a booster to run E85, and you can do, I think it's probably 14 pounds on a setup like that
Okay.
before you need a
It's not bad.
return fuel system.
Derek says, so the 14 Gen 1 Coyotes are stronger than the 10 to 13s?
I'd say, yeah.
The
11-12s have a different block. The 13-14s have their own block, but there's internet rumors that are kind of confirmed, not really confirmed, that the 14s run 15 to 17 rods.
Which is theoretically actually the Boss rod, more like a forged powdered metal rod, powder forged or something. So
Yeah.
it's supposed to be heavier duty.
And my personal opinion, if you're concerned about the engine strength, address that concern by forging the engine.
We need like a. Well, where's Thor? Can he forge engines?
I think he can forge anything.
Yeah.
He's able to hold the
Yeah.
heart of a dying star open.
Why is it so hard to find a new standard cab F-150?
Because Ford thinks that people don't want them. Help us change Ford's mind.
Assholes. Just like you can't get what you want because you have to special order it, and then that's annoying.
Well, in their defense, they have the actual data to back up that, hey, there isn't a business case for us to sell or to make 200,000 of these because we have so much trouble moving them.
Yeah.
So it's not like they don't really know what they're talking about when they think, hey, we don't need these, but I think that they're missing a target market with a factory supercharged F-150.
Yeah.
Like, I understand the Raptor is supposed to meet that target or maybe substitute for that, but I think people like sport trucks too. Not everyone wants a
Yeah.
get in it and I'm gonna go Baja.
Yeah, exactly.
Sonia says, yay, Avengers reference. Joe's a nerd like me.
Good times.
That kind of making me laugh. Derek says, will a VMP blower fit on a 5.42 valve block?
It won't bolt to a block or bolt to the heads, but if you run a Lightning supercharger intake manifold and you get the adapter kit from TPS Motorsports or that other place that makes it, then our GT500 supercharger will bolt to that adapter plate, which bolts to the intake manifold, which bolts to the heads, which bolts to the block.
Let's see here.
It's a circle.
Jesse says, how big will your charger be for Gen 3 Coyote, and will it require modifications to the engine like Roush?
Let's talk about engine modifications. If it's not on the inside of the engine, it's not really an engine modification.
Yeah.
It would be based on the 2.65 liter TVS because that rotor set is freaking awesome. And that's going to be apparent even more this year with the race series that it's being used in.
I wasn't sure if we were allowed to talk about that yet.
It's so I was actually referring to the factory eliminator Copo type cars, but we have now shipped many VMP Gen 3s for Cobra Jets. So it's out there basically.
Like X-Files?
Yeah. As far as the 1819 kit, it's going to use the 265. It's going to fit under the hood. And it's going to make a ton of power. Those are the targets. And
We're going to hit it like we can't miss?
Yeah, it was going very well.
Old school wrapped.
Oh,
Go
sorry.
ahead. You good?
Is there a way to adapt a 15 to 17 analog throttle body to an 18 plus digital strategy?
I've got a adapter box here I'll sell you for $350 if you really want it. Or you could just buy the throttle body we made to work on 18s.
They work a lot better than trying to use the adapter box with stupid big throttle bodies.
VMP Twinjet 69 digital.
Todd, I'm going to say nice, as Max would say, nice.
Nice.
Todd says, hi VMP crew, big thanks to Joe for tuning my Mustang. It went faster enough to require a parachute on its first run at 141 miles per hour.
Not too shabby there, sir. Not too shabby.
And that's why
That's Todd from Australia.
Oh, nice.
Matt's boy. Todd O'Leary, I think is his name. Yeah, I'd like to, I really wish you would have data logged that pass because I could have made the car a lot faster. In the future, please data log the car for me. I'd really like to make that car faster and take over Australia. Because I think that was, for what it's worth, was the highest trap speed on a stock engine Mustang in Australia or something like that. I'd have to confirm with Matt. Or Todd might know. Todd knows the micro record behind that.
Derek says, if you had a choice to swap a GT500 motor or a Gen 2 Coyote into a 073 valve, which would you choose?
Coyote, every day of the week.
Todd says, yeah, my dad.
It's all good, buddy. Hindsight's 20/20.
Alan says, a 10 GT all stock except for tune. Looking at a JLT cold air and intake charge plate delete. What power would it pick up? Love the channel. Keep up the good work. Thanks, Alan.
In combination with a tune, what would you say IMRC delete JLT cold air GT would pick up versus stock? I know what they make at the wheels, but I can't recall what a 3-valve makes at the wheel stock.
they'll be in the high 200s, like 280s. The NMRC Delete, it's probably worth like 5 to 7 rear wheel horsepower. You know, I mean, they're 3 valves are strong for what they are, the high 200s. But you know, all that stuff combined, the tune, the cold air is worth about 30. Put another 5 wheel on it. We're speaking in wheel horsepower numbers, so so 35.
So roughly 315, 310 wheel.
They make 250 to 275 stock. So, you know, I will say 280 to 300 with all those bolt-ons and manual trans, you know, kind of best case scenario. I feel like to get into that strongly above 300, you need long tubes, then you start talking about cams and manifold swaps, and you can get up to like 330, 350.
Yeah, we had an oddball.
Real strong 3 valve.
I think it was 350 or 360.
Yeah.
Naturally aspirated with 3 valves. Like what?
That must
we were still really conservative on timing on that too.
That must have been like some mileage and some clearances had opened up, and the motor was just real loose.
I don't know what it was, but they all apparently need it because it did very well.
I mean, that's like a stock Coyote, like a Gen 1 or Gen 2 Coyote.
And I was surprised because the car was kind of beat.
So
Maybe that's the key.
Yeah.
We have about 11 minutes left, 10, 11 minutes, so we have just a few questions. If you have any more questions, now's the time to go ahead and ask them, so that way we can get them on the show, because if there are no questions that come in, then we will probably cut the show off a little bit earlier than stated. So with that said, Corey says, is there an intercooler pump pigtail available on the website? If not, is there a Bosch part number?
Intercooler pump pigtail would be the same as a EV1 connector, right, or a Jetronics connector?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
EV1 injector, yeah.
Because EV1's US, or EV1's Jetronics, EV6 is US car.
We have a 3-foot extension harness for another solution that we could sell you for 30 or 40 bucks if you really needed, and with a connector on it. We also have adapter harnesses for the GT500 pump and the new higher flowing Bosch pump.
Is that the little, the one that kind of like modulates its own speed?
Yeah.
So, you know, I said that there were a couple of questions left, and so one of the questions that was remaining was from the gaming teaser, and it was actually the next question up. So he came back again with big capital letters, read me, and asked the question again. So with that said, the gaming teaser says, do you like the new GT500, body style and wing, and do you think the numbers Ford says it will do are realistic?
I think that according to the SAE spec for specifying horsepower that an engine produces, that Ford's numbers will be accurate.
We'll put one on the dyno here at VMP as soon as we get one. As soon as they come in.
Dun. Terminator Lou says, hey guys, just tuning in, Gen 2 swapped car. We finally got E85 in the area, so I picked up some 47-pound injectors. Will I be needing plugs? A tune revision will be coming Joe's way soon. Thanks.
No plugs. I mean,
Unless they're stock for some reason. Because he was talking about doing a Gen 2 blower.
I think he said Gen 2 Coyote.
Oh.
He said 47, so it sounds like naturally aspirated.
Yeah, for naturally aspirated setup, going to 47-pound injectors, you won't need a tune update, and you won't need to swap spark plugs. Oh, you'll need a tune update for the injectors. Sorry. For some reason, I was thinking a tune update for spark plugs.
Issa says, you guys said this a couple of episodes ago, I'm new to Mustangs. Is it safe to use octane boosters on a new stock S550s for Friday night drag racing?
It is perfectly safe to use octane boosters on a stock S550 that's on the stock tube. Just make sure that those octane boosters are actually octane boosters.
Zion wants to know, how much power should I expect from a 17 GT with potted 18 manifold, I think he meant ported, catless long tube headers, and PMAS intake on 93. Would I gain any peak power with E85?
I'd say in the neighborhood of 420 to 435 on 93. If it's a 373 car, they dyno a little bit lower than like a 315, 331, or 355 car.
And what year, he said, what year Coyote, a Gen 2 Coyote,
I
Carrie?
think he said 17.
17,
17,
yeah. Yeah. And I mean, like, you have the corn cars that might occasionally push 440, 450 if the stars align, but
93, the
20.
420 to 435 range is
pretty darn realistic. And that's
Yeah.
it's strong for a Coyote that an engine dynoed as low as 360 to 380 stock.
Issa also wants to know, also, is it possible once I get a cold air intake and tune, you make the tunes in Sport Plus and drag modes only?
The modifiers for spark advance fueling, cam timing, and all that stuff are not Sport Plus, or race mode oriented. That's mainly those are mainly modifiers of pedal feel, transhift schedule, traction control, and a couple other small things.
Yeah, it's like a different area of the tune than we work in.
Yeah, it's not like the Boss track key stuff where you have completely separate tables for
Right.
spark advance, fueling, idle air, everything really.
And like the way that the way that we kind of tune, the way that it kind of works is anything we do to the bass tune, you can still retain that functionality, and in some cases we can further enhance that functionality for you upon request.
Upon reasonable request.
Yeah.
I wanted to make 100 more horsepower in sport mode.
Derek wants to know, are 07 GT500 engines as strong as the Gen 2 Coyotes?
Kind of a tricky one. On 93, I'd say that the GT500 is going to be a bit stronger. If you want to quantify strength as power at the wheels.
Good way to look at it.
On E85, I'd say they're pretty similar in strength. I'd almost say that the GT500 engine is going to be a little bit stronger. But I think power-wise, they're going to end up around the same number.
We have 5 minutes left. We're not going to take any more questions. I'm going to finish up the questions that we do have currently.
Like, share, and subscribe.
Again, yes, that's where I was going. We're at the end of the show. If you like this show, please like, share, and subscribe. I'd like to see all the thumbs up coming in. I do see those. Also, make sure you hit the bell button over on YouTube, so that way you get notifications of when we drop the videos. And one last time, Justin, what do you have up there?
We've got a signed Dude in Blue license plate and a blue VMP t-shirt. Make sure that you comment on the Dude in Blue, I gotta stop the stupid voice.
Yeah.
Just comment on the Dude in Blue meet and greet video and comment which car you like from the video, and you'll be entered in a contest to win this stuff, not the Mac laptop.
Okay.
I don't know why, but when you did that voice, it reminded me of The Price is Right, which brought me to John Cena's entrance song. Because it was like the do, and then I'm like, wait, that's John Cena's song, not The Price is Right.
Last few questions that we have. Jared wants to know, will a bigger injector hurt performance after tune, of course, if I do not have a bigger supercharger on my 03 Cobra?
Define performance. It should make the same peak power. A bigger injector won't negatively affect your ability to make power unless it's not accounted for in the tune and you're running like 60 lambda a watt getting misfires.
Yeah.
Justin wants to know, he's got an 01 Cobra with cold air intake off-road X pipe. Would a cam tune benefit, or should I get more mods? I have a SET tuner I bought used.
We can most definitely, we can build a custom tune for the 01 Cobra that'll put everything where we want to see it to make maximum power.
True story.
Nick has an 0304 Cobra with a 2.3 liter VMP. At what power does the JLT high boost intake start to be a bottleneck?
I don't really know for sure.
Yeah, I don't have
But-
quantifiable data on that stuff.
I mean, from an airflow standpoint, it doesn't look like it's great, but I don't know.
Yeah, like maybe like the 850, 900 wheel range, get something bigger on there.
Yeah. And like the intention is good, pull cool air from the fender, but just like JLT designed that kit 5 or 6 years ago when everybody was making like 600, maybe 700 rear wheel. Now everybody's...
It does great for that level, but...
Yeah.
James says, I recently had a conversation with one of the Mustang Facebook groups, and they said that stock motors can't push 1,000 plus horsepower, and that people are doing it. And I know I've heard you guys say before that you shouldn't really go over like a country with like a Gen 2 that can push 1,000 horsepower.
You just want to be, do you want to be an internet hero, or do you want to drive your car home from the track? It's not something you should ever do on a regular basis. Have a couple people done silly stuff a couple times, yeah, and done it. That's kind of the story. Reliability ultimately wins the race.
Ryan says, how much are 18 truck manifolds?
They'll be a little bit less expensive than the Mustang, than the CNC ported Mustang manifolds, but we haven't finalized that program yet. So if you have a truck manifold already, we can get it for you CNC ported for $300. Put it in those terms if you have a truck. But as far as making the intake manifold and the porting available for use on other applications, we want to get the dyno results down so we know exactly what we're selling you, much like our Mustang intake manifold shootout video we did.
So we had one last question come in, and this will be it. Murphy wants to know, is putting 15 GT injectors on an 08 GT be useful, plus tune JLT, cold air intake, and cat filter?
Don't do that shit.
Yeah. You don't need bigger injectors on the setup that you have in your car.
Yeah.
From what you just described.
And just because you can get an injector from a newer car cheap and maybe put it on an older car doesn't mean it's a good idea.
Yeah.
Well, we have some questions from the Cobros. We're launching
Cobros are real.
we're doing a product overview video on the BMP Gen 3. It'll be out shortly, and we'll show the Cobros some love and hopefully answer some questions for them. And
Do the things.
yeah.
Speaking of which, there was a Cobra powered Fox body out at that Street Kings thing that trapped 140. He trapped 142 or 143.
Yeah, Jonathan's car.
Mhm.
It was running pretty strong. Ran 10-1s out of Street Kings.
Mhm.
He told me last night he has a freaking IRS in his car.
He does.
Like, what are you doing?
Easy way to save 80 pounds and get that car launching consistently. Hit up the boys at TRZ.
Yeah. SN95 8.8.
Mm-hmm.
With that said, I'll call that another episode.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share. We'll see you next week.
Have fun, guys.